Morning, all. All right, so we just have the three games tonight in the NHL, so the preview is on this news board. But we'll start off with the news of the day thus far, keeping in mind that things have been kind of newsy lately, haven't they? Anyways, Ross Colton has been fined for a cross-check on Timo Meier last night. So he boarded Luke Hughes, which was a dangerous play, and then the cross-check on Meier, and so there we go. Your end result is a fine, and I'm sure Ross Colton would look at that and go, yeah, that's fine. Yeah, no problem. Cool. So it just, they win the game, and again, it was a dangerous play all around, and it's worth $5,000. I don't understand. Anyways, that being said, just looking at, and I've been looking at some of the replies to Department of Player Safety on, well, wait, this was 2 games, this was a game, this was 4 games, now this one's a fine. It just does feel like it's all over the place. And it's too bad. They set the bar pretty high to start the season, and it's definitely slid. So, anyways, there you go. That, or, the wheel they were using was the harsh wheel, and they've gone back to the, well, we'll see what we get kind of wheel. Spin it for justice. Anyways, injury news, Tampa Bay. Morella just got sent down not too long ago, right? Well, he's been recalled. Connor Sherry's on IR with an upper body injury. So, of course, IR could be retroactive, and it's a week from when you're put on the IR and all that. So, we'll see how long Sherry's out, but Morella was playing well for them in a bottom 6 role. Being recalled and all that, it really shouldn't have any negative impact on the Tampa Bay Lightning, who had a pretty impressive win last night over Montreal. Nick Backstrom has officially been placed on LTIR by the Washington Capitals. The timing with all this is always, it's very strategic. You have capologists everywhere, so this gives them their relief. And so Washington's in a position where they could potentially take somebody on if they figure, if we add the right piece, we could be in the hunt for a playoff spot. We could stay, in the top 8 in the East kind of thing. We'll see what Brian McClellan does with that cap space. Jonathan Huberdeau. So the absolute destruction of Jonathan Huberdeau seems to be continuing. Now, he was benched in the third period last night, but he only has, in his last 8 games, 2 points. And so for Huberdeau, this has been a tough run in Calgary. The idea was simple. He definitely sounds like he was definitely one of the ones that wanted Sutter out. And it does feel like the players are happier under the new coach, but their play is not. So for Huberdeau, something has to give somewhere. Because of the length of this contract, there's no way he's going to spend all those years in Calgary if things don't improve. So I don't know if a trade's going to happen at some point. I don't think a buyout works at all. But the Huberdeau situation in Calgary, if he'd had a good year last year and we were just looking at him having a bit of a slow start this year, wouldn't be anything to talk about. But the fact that he had a rough year last year and now he's off to a slow start this year as well, there's definitely something there to talk about. So what do you think they do with Huberdeau? If you're Craig Conroy, what do you do in order to try to get him going, or how does that work? We'll see what they do. Vancouver is apparently in the market for a right shot defenseman. They've been working the phones. Keep in mind it's going to have to be dollar in, dollar out with the Vancouver Canucks. They don't have the cap space to bring on a big contract. It is interesting, too, because the Canucks defense has been playing well to start the season. So while I understand them wanting to reward the players for their play and go out and find somebody, I wouldn't want to mess with the team's chemistry either. So that's kind of where I sit right now. Is as long as it's not something that's going to mess with team chemistry, they're just bringing in a depth defenseman, and if they're trading out something they can afford to trade, no big deal. We'll see what they do though. Let me know your thoughts. Who do you think the Canucks end up picking up? Then we get into the 3 games tonight. So we've got a game starting at 7 o'clock Eastern, 4 o'clock Pacific, 1.5 hour later, and then we have the late start on the East Coast. I will do a game board for these 2 games, and then I will have a game board for this one, meaning I will review these 2 games, and then I will do a review for this game later on, because this is a doubleheader, which means this game's not starting when it says it's going to start. So, anyways, just letting you guys know it's not going to be just one review video tonight. So, 7 Eastern, 4 Pacific start between the Ottawa Senators and the Toronto Maple Leafs. Ottawa's 4-6 to start the season. Toronto is 6-4-2, and neither team is happy with their start to the season. This is the first of 4 meetings. They'll meet again December 7th, December 27th, and February the 10th. So the Battle of Ontario for Ottawa, they're scoring at 22%. That's the rate on the power play. On the penalty kill, they're killing off 75%. Toronto their power play is clicking at 27%. Their penalty kill at 72%. So the numbers are very similar there between these two teams. Ottawa scoring 3.8 goals per game, allowing 3.5 goals per game. Toronto is scoring and allowing 3.42 goals per game. So the numbers are close between these two teams, and I don't think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other. We shall see. 7:30 Eastern, 4:30 Pacific start between Florida and Washington. So this is the first of 3 meetings between the Capitals and the Panthers. They'll meet again February 8th as well as February the 24th. For Florida, they're 6-4-1 to start the season. Washington 5-4-1. For Florida, 14% on the power play, 71% on the penalty kill. On the Washington front, they're 10% on the power play. Again, with the names on this power play, it's shocking. Their penalty kill clicking at 79%. Florida scoring 2.82 goals per game. They're allowing 2.91 goals per game, whereas Washington scoring 1.9 goals per game and allowing an even 3 goals against per game. So a lot of work to be done here by Washington. But again, the team feels like they're getting on the right track. We'll see if they can do so in the game against Florida tonight. And then at 10 Eastern, 7 Pacific, we have the LA Kings and the Vegas Golden Knights. This is the second of 3 meetings. On October the 28th, Vegas, it took them till a shootout to beat LA. They won that one 4-3. The third and final meeting between these two teams will be December the 28th. So for the LA Kings, they're 7-2-2 to start the year. For the Vegas Golden Knights, they're 11-1-1 to start the season. LA's power play, 18%. Their penalty kill, 85%. On the Vegas side, their power play still clicking at 23%. Their penalty kill, 87%. LA scoring 4.27 goals per game. They're allowing 2.82 goals per game. Vegas is scoring 3.77 goals per game. They're allowing 2.15 goals against per game. So in the comment section below, you guys can let me know who you believe is going to win these games. Don't forget to hit like and subscribe if you're browsing your way through. You just happened upon this video, and let me know your thoughts on the news of the day stuff, including, are you completely fine with Colton just being fined for last night? Do you think it should have been a suspension? Let me know your thoughts. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons because my feelings get hurt when you don't. And hey, thank you guys so much for all your support. I will talk to you again soon.